Okay, here we go, guys. Another week. Looks like we probably have maybe 7 more weeks of this, and maybe we can be done for the year. Today we're going to do this review lesson, and I know I had been skipping some review lessons for you guys, but since we're not together and we can't review together, I'm going to go ahead and do these. Plus, I'm not giving you any tests or quizzes, so we have time to do these extra lessons. All right, so let's work through this one today, and then I'll leave you on your own with a few things. All right, let's do the perimeter of a rectangle first. Remember, in perimeter, we are pretty much just adding up the sides. Don't forget that. You're adding up the sides. But there are formulas that they give us. Good to know, because they do make it a little quicker, especially with some of the harder ones. All right, so I hear my son calling me. He might be out on the porch in a minute. All right, so for the rectangle, you have perimeter equals 2 times the length plus 2 times the width. All right, so we're going to do 2 times 4.5. I'm going to work down here. 2 times 4.5. I'm on the front porch. Here he comes. So it's going to be 2 over 1 times 9 over 2. All right, we can cross cancel, and quickly you can see your answer is what? Good, 9 yards. Remember, if I go too fast, just pause me. All right, let's do our triangle. Now, we could do 98.1 times 98.1 times 98.1, but we could just take 98.1 and multiply it by 3, because in this problem we have an equilateral triangle. All 3 sides are the same. All 3 angles are the same also. Oops, sorry. Did I just almost write a 4? Sorry. 3, 24, and 29. So we have, whoops, that shouldn't be there, should it? It should be right here. We have 292.3 meters. All right, square. The official formula for a square would be side times 4, or 4 times side. 8 times 4, we can just do that in our head. What is 8 times 4? Good, 32 feet. All right, let me erase some of this. Oh, I'm going to pause because now my phone's ringing. Hold on just a second. All right, let's go to number 2. Find the perimeters for rectangles having these dimensions. If necessary, convert to the greater unit. This is the part I always forget, and I don't want to forget today, the greater unit. All right, so in this one, they're both feet. This would be a rectangle. 30 feet, 33 feet would be your width. 46 feet would be your length. So remember, perimeter equals 2 times the length plus 2 times the width. Or we could just add up all the sides, but I think this is easier. So 33 times 2, what length? 46 times 2. Can you double 46 in your head? I believe that's 92. And then we have 33 times 2, which is just doubling 33. Double 33, and you get 66. Can you add 92 plus 66 in your head? You should get 158, if I'm correct. And that would be feet. All right, now on this one, we have meters and we have centimeters. They want us to convert to the greater unit. So out to the side here, I'm going to write meter. And remember, decimeter is 1/10 of a meter. Centimeter is 1/100th of a meter. Millimeter is 1/1000th of a meter. Okay. All right, so if we have centimeters and we want to convert it to the larger measurement, which is what they're telling us in our directions. So you're going from smaller to larger. You're going from centi up to meter. So we're going 2 steps smaller to larger. That means we're dividing. And we can just move the decimal over 2 places. I probably shouldn't write divided by 2. I should divide by 100 because it's 2 zeros. Two jumps, 2 zeros makes 100. Or we can move our decimal over twice. So in 1900 centimeters, my decimal is right here at the end. If I move it over twice, that's just like dividing by 100. So 1900 centimeters would be 19 meters. Okay, now we can do the 2 times the length and the 2 times the width. 2 times 14, double 14 is 28. Double 19, we get 38. Add 28 plus 38 in your head. I'll give you a second. Did you get 66? Good. All right. Now on this one, I have feet and yards. We got to convert that feet to yards. So 6 feet is how many yards? Larger to smaller, multiply. How many feet are in 1 yard? Sorry, the train's coming. That's 3. So 3 times 6 would be 18. No. I'm sorry. Feet to yards. I'm like, that's not right. All right. Let me erase a little bit and you forget what I just said. It's divide. All right. Oh, I gotta get rid of this too because that was totally not right. Okay. So 6 divided by 3 is 2. How about that? Better? All right. Now we can double both of them because we're going to do this formula again. 2 times the length times 2 times the width. Doesn't matter which one we do first. We'll do the width first because it's first in our problem. 2 times 2 would be 4. 76 times 2. See, 70 and 70 is 140. 6 and 6 is 12. So I think that should be a plus. That should be 152 if I'm correct. Add them together and we get 156 yards. Okay? Now when you hand these papers in to me, I don't want to just see this and this and this. I want to see you doing some work too, okay? I don't mind you doing them with me totally, but I would like you to be doing them, not just writing the answers, okay? That's not going to make me happy. Okay, these two are both in meters, so we can just do 2 times the length and 2 times the width. So it'd be 93.6 times 2. And that's what I get. And 84.9 times 2. 1698. All right, here we go. 1698. Let's see if I am correct. All right. I don't know why I have this decimal here. Can you please ignore that totally? Okay, 1 place after the decimal would be right here. 357. Is that what you get? Ignore that because I did that wrong. It should be right here. There we go. Not thinking. All right, so 357. I'll write this on my extremely messy page. Meters. All right, 2 times the length times 2 times the width. These guys are in feet and inches and feet. So the best thing to do is just convert those inches into a fraction. 8 out of 12 inches because there's 12 inches in a foot. So you would have 8 over 12. I'm going to make it small over here. And let's reduce that. 2 goes into 8. 4 times, let's do 4 because they both go into 4. 4 goes into 8 twice. 4 goes into 12 3 times. What's that sound? I think it's a bike I hear. Okay, so we have 2/3. So you have 4 2/3 times 2. So let's change that into an improper fraction. 12, 13, 14 over 3 times 2. 28 over 3. We'll just leave that for now. You look up here and make sure I'm doing that right. Looks like I'm doing it. Are they converting that back? They are converting that back. So, but let's do the other one first. So we have 3 times 2 for the other one, which is 6. So now convert 28 over 3 into a mixed number. 3 goes into 27 9 times with 1 left over 3 plus 6. And that would be 15 1/3. Feet. You could just put feet. All right. Last one, we'll squish right in here because it's easy. Length is 9 times 2, which is 18. Width is 1 times 2, whoops, which would be 2. So this would be 20 meters. That one was super easy. Man, I hear a dog whining, I guess. I don't know what that noise is. Okay. John can walk to school in 3/4 of an hour. He says he can ride to school on his bike in 1/3 of that time. How long does it take him to ride to school on his bike? Well, let's figure out what 1/3 of, what's of mean? 3/4. And this cross cancels. So that means he can ride to school in 1/4 of an hour. Just by the way, how many minutes is 3/4 of an hour? Well, if you're not for sure in your head, you could do 3/4 times 60. I'm doing it at the bottom. 4 does go into 60. 1 time goes into 6. 1 and then 5. 15 times 3, 45 minutes it takes him to walk. 1/4 of an hour would be 1/4 times 60, 1 and 15, and if I multiply that, that's 15 minutes. So obviously he can get to school faster if he rides his bike. All right, I'm going to clean this page up. There we go. Okay. Anna bought 3 bookmarks for 75 cents. At that rate, how much would 9 bookmarks cost? So every 3 bookmarks cost 75 cents. So every 3 would be 75 cents. Well, how many 3s do you get out of 9? Well, obviously there's 3 of them, right? So you could do it the long way and add 75 cents up 3 times, couldn't you? Or we could just do 0.75 times 3. Put the decimal in. How much would it cost? $2.25. Allison picked 1/4 a bushel of green beans for her aunt. Not 1/4. Let me erase here because I think I'm reading that wrong. She picked 3/4 of a bushel of green beans for her aunt. Her aunt gave her 1/5 of them. Do you see the of? Always means times. What part of a bushel did she receive? So she received 1/5 of 3/4. Sounds like a difficult problem, but it isn't, is it? She got 3/20 of a bushel. You cannot go over there. Hold on, I'm going to pause you a second. Okay, back to our story problem. Back to our division. All right. Let me do A with you, just for the fun of it, right? You can do the other 2 on your own. Simple division problems for you guys. All right, 625 is closer to 600 than 700. So I'm going to use 6 as my estimating number. The first thing 625 will go into, I think, is 5,000, because it won't go into 500. So above this 0 is where my first number is going to be. So I should have 4 numbers up here when I'm all done. I do that because I want to make sure when I'm done, I have 4 numbers up top. These long ones can get a little tricky, and we forget that, and we just, like, say it didn't went in and it should have been a 0 up there. We kind of forget sometimes to do that. All right, 6 goes into 50. I'm thinking 6 times 8, which is 48. Might be too big, but I'm going to go ahead and try it. 625. That's crazy. 5 times 8. Oh, guess what? Perfect. 625 went into 5,000 8 times. That comes to 5,000. At that point, it's just going to be zeros, because that's all you have left. So you just put those up top. That was easier than I thought. All right, I'm going to find the next page. Let's see. This is the back. All right. This is your review. I'm gonna, oh boy, it's been a while since we've done these. So maybe I will work through these with you, just because I'm not there to answer your questions. Complete the bar graph for the story problem. Man, I hear tons of fire trucks. There's either a fire or an accident. Kind of scary. All right, during a family vacation, Caleb and his father went fishing. On Wednesday, they caught 3 fish. Oh, this is easy. I'm not doing this. You guys can do that one on your own. Let's go to number 6. Complete this line graph. Find the average grade, okay? So I really don't even have to do this one. I can just remind you. So first of all, on the first test was a 91. So you're going to put a little dot like right there. Remember this? Test number 2 was 97. So you put a little dot about right there. I'll just do 2 more. Test number 3 is 95. So put a little dot about right there. And test number 4 is 84. Oh, I hear fire trucks. They're Climax fire trucks. Coming into town. Maybe they're just checking out their sirens. Okay, at that point, I'm going to connect my lines. We have a cool new truck. It's cool. It's good to know that I think they just have the trucks out and about, checking them out, making sure they're running and working. Okay, so you have to find the average grade. This is the other thing you have to do. And remember, to find the average, you're going to add up all of those test grades. And then you're going to divide that total by how many tests there were, which is 10. Okay? Let me just remind you, you're going to need a ruler for this bottom part. So part of your ruler, one side should be, a good ruler will have inches on one side and centimeters on the other side. Okay? So if I think about, it should mark what a centimeter is on there. It's hard for me to show you this way. But, man, if somebody go across the street to the park and they're not allowed to. But we'll see what happens. Let me just remind you that if you have meters, right? A decimeter is 1/10 of that. A centimeter is 1/100th of that. And a meter is 1/1000th of that, right? So therefore, if your thing is marked in centimeters, that should be easy to do that one. But a decimeter would be 10 centimeters, because a decimeter is 1 step away from a centimeter. So to measure that decimeter, you're going to need 10 to mark 10 centimeters. 23 millimeters, well, it takes 10 millimeters to make a centimeter. So every 10 millimeters would be a centimeter. So you're going to have 2 centimeters and then 3 more of the really little marks on that ruler. 4 1/8, you might have to have somebody help you because your inches are going to be marked off. Like this would be a 1. You're going to have longer lines for the half. You're going to have slightly shorter lines to mark the fourths, and even shorter lines to mark the eighths, and then real little lines to mark the 16ths. All right. 3 centimeters and 4 millimeters. Once again, think about that. You can mark 3 of your centimeters, which are usually marked on your ruler, and then there'll be 4 millimeters within one of those centimeters. All right. Okay, I think I'm going to stop there. I think that went long enough. Hopefully you can get the rest of this lesson done and do a good job on it. I'll see you guys in language. Bye-bye.